Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the Fumble Live. So glad you could join us. Hope you slept well. Hope you're paying attention in class, working hard, whatever it is you're doing right now. We have a lot to talk about as per usual. You guys see that headline, and I think to some extent, although I see some of you in the chat do not agree right away, I think we have to agree a little bit. Social media sometimes is the absolute worst, and I think some of you proved that already in the chat. Also, we got to talk about Shikari Richardson and why she needs to stay completely off media. I think it's just a social media theme today. But before we do all that, make sure you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. Share this with your friends. And now, here we are, the Fumble Squad. I'm Jackie Ray. You can follow me on all things social media at JRay the Fanatic.
It's your boy Chris. You can find me everywhere at CK2K.
What's up, Chris? How you doing?
I'm good. I'm still trying to get my voice back, but I'm good. How you doing?
Are you going to be sipping tea today? I am good. I just need to know if the tea is going to be sipped.
In hand, so be careful with your statements. Yeah. Oh my. Yeah, I can see it. Normally, I normally have Black Panther, but it's dirty, so I'm using this little floral one. But now I'm upset. I don't have my Black Panther with me. Right. All right, P. Chadwick.
All right. Let's get into our first need to know news, because I think we all kind of knew this was coming, but maybe not to this capacity. I don't know if I thought that this was just going to be an all-out sayonara situation. So I have to admit, I was a little surprised by this because, like I said, you know what's going on with Rachel Nichols. We knew that something was coming down the line, but a full-on dismissal was a lot to me. So if you haven't heard, Rachel Nichols, she's been hosting The Jump since 2016, but ESPN has canceled The Jump and removed Rachel Nichols from all ESPN programming. So the ESPN Senior Vice President of Production, David Roberts, he said in a statement, Rachel is an excellent reporter, host, and journalist. We thank her for her many contributions to our NBA content. We mutually agreed, that's always funny to me, we mutually agreed that this approach regarding our NBA coverage was best for all concerned. That's such an interesting quote to me because I just can't see Rachel saying, yeah, I think it's cool if I don't have a job. I just can't see her mutually agreeing to that one. But she did respond on Twitter as well. She said, got to create a whole show and spend 5 years hanging out with some of my favorite people, talking about my favorite things. An internal thank you to our amazing producers and crew. The Jump was never built to last forever, but it sure was fun. More to come. But here's a cool thing, and I'm not trying to be flip with it. ESPN has a clause in their contract that you can't work for any other competitor for 6 months. I believe it was 6 months. It might have been raised, but I know at one point it was just 6 months. So this is why there's one cool little caveat for her, is because she still has a year remaining on her contract. ESPN is going to have to pay her for that year. Yep. So during that time, she's going to be getting paid, and she can negotiate another deal. So this is like the perfect situation in that aspect for her. So that is a good thing. The consensus on Twitter, though, seems to be that ESPN went too far with this.
Oh, really?
This user says, and it was a lot of, I found maybe one or two people that thought this was a good thing. But this one says, canceling Rachel Nichols does nothing to help the Black community, only makes ESPN more boring. The pandering will not replace actual corrective action for our flawed system. Once everyone is canceled and all of the problems still exist, then what? And then this next two people, they were kind of funny, so I had to throw that in there. This guy says, I'm a Black man, and I support you, Rachel. We all make mistakes. ESPN needs to put on their big boy pants. God's blessing. And the guy on the bottom says, Jason Whitlock, is that you? I had to throw that one in there. You don't know who Jason Whitlock is. That is lost on you, but that I thought was kind of funny because
it's a good one.
On this nonsense. But I do, like I said, I was surprised that they were doing an entire removal of her. I don't know. I kind of agree. Like, you know how I feel about, I'm not for cancel culture just because, again, y'all tried to cancel Nick Cannon, and no, ma'am, we will never cancel Nick Cannon, at least not for me. So I was cancel culture at that time. But we're talking about one moment in time, what she said about Maria Taylor. Is this too far for ESPN? Did they go too far?
I want to say yes and no. I feel like that this fit because as you can tell by the whole entire situation, it feels like ESPN is doing what it can to save its like last legs because ESPN is falling off and a lot of people are like they're watching it but they're not watching like that. I feel like on Twitter you get more hate on ESPN than any kind of support on it anymore. Anytime they put out any kind of lists, they have any kind of show, like nobody is going on there and be like, "Oh, ESPN did a good thing today." Like they're never saying that. So it feels like because of how negative the response was because of Rachel, they jumped the gun on this one quick. To me, I don't know. Either way, like you said, I feel like Rachel put herself in a situation where she's going to be fine. I know that might not be the thing that some people might hear. And it's funny because on my end of Twitter, my entire feed was everybody was excited about it. But
really?
But it's because she's a part of Knicks fans don't like ESPN because ESPN does whatever they can to make a joke about the Knicks. And Rachel Nichols is she's one of the pioneers of that. So once Max was out first, then Rachel, Knicks fans out here throwing a field day, they're excited about it. But yeah, I don't think this is the end of Rachel Nichols, even though it kind of is. I wouldn't say premature. It was kind of unexpected. But I just hate that the jump had to go with it. I'm not a big fan of a lot of things that ESPN does, but I was a big fan of the jump. It was cool to just have the players have their voices a little bit more frequently. You were hearing a lot more of the inside. We were getting breaking news sometimes from the jump, even though Twitter gets a lot of it first. But for those who aren't on Twitter, you're getting a lot of it on the jump first, which in our lifetime watching ESPN, we never really got that as soon as we did like on the jump, like free agency and stuff like that. So, I don't know if they're going to be able to come with something that's similar to the jump. That's really the only thing I'm a little upset about, losing the jump. But I'm not really worried about Rachel. I think she'll be just fine. This ain't going to be nothing. She's going to, whether it's on a network or not, she's going to be back on her list. So whether it is sooner or I don't think it really matters. I think she's going to figure out the best steps for her next anyways. I think this girl survived TNT, CNN, ESPN twice, NBC. She was on every network. So Rachel will be all right for those who are supporting Rachel Nichols or who are curious about that. So I'm not too worried about it.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Rachel Nichols. Like I don't have a dog in this race. I could care less if this woman doesn't have, and I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just I'm not gonna wake up and be like, damn, I ain't seen Rachel Nichols in a while. She's not even gonna cross my mind. I'm not gonna think about her again. But I do kind of wonder though, since Maria Taylor bounced out, why do you have to get rid of? Just go ahead. What'd you say?
No, I say, man, Maria Taylor made her statement. She got her finals. She did a hell of a job, and then still took the money and bounced. I love Maria Taylor. Like, she won the summer. I don't care what nobody says. And then went to go and do the Olympics. I'm sorry. Every time we talk about the Maria Taylor problem, like, you put some respect on her name because she did the damn thing, and she on top of everything bounced. Like, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just every time we bring her up, I'm like, yeah, Maria.
Yeah, I agree with that, and I think Maria handled it the absolute right way. She didn't say anything; sure. She just let that happen, and she just did exactly what you said. She kept proving her worth, and then she bounced. So yes, statement made in that aspect. I applaud how she did it, but I still wonder though because this whole thing came about because of this Maria Taylor Rachel Nichols situation, and Maria bounced. Did you have to get rid of Rachel? Was that absolutely necessary?
I'm telling you, they're trying to do it for the people. They're trying to get their brand back on track. They're trying to recover their brand, back for a better phrase. Because, like I said, it's not what it used to be. People don't look at ESPN the way they used to be. Every time they go on ESPN, they're saying something bad about it. So they're just trying to do whatever they can. The people don't want Rachel, they're gonna get rid of Rachel, whether it's the right move or not, whether they don't have a backup plan or not. Like we're finding out with First Take, they don't really have a plan with First Take. They just roll with whatever happens. People were upset about Max Kellerman, so now they got rid of him. Now they're gonna try to figure it out. Same thing with Richard Nichols, whether you like it one way or not. So I don't know one way or another if it was too soon or if it made sense. I'm just looking to see what they do next. Does Malika get a bigger role? Because I feel like she's been sliding into a lot of the stuff on ESPN. Do they find somebody else? I don't know what they decide to do. But yeah, I feel like ESPN is really trying to get themselves back on the positive side of the internet, which is not going to happen.
The thing is like ESPN has done a lot. One of my favorite shows on there for the longest time was His and Her. And that's gone. They don't have a lot of the dope programming that kind of reeled me in. I haven't watched the jump in a long time. I didn't like Rachel Nichols on that show. I'm just gonna say that right now. Something about Rachel just
For
triggers
sure.
me
No,
in
no,
some
100%. Yeah.
way.
No, 100%.
Before the Maria Taylor incident, it was just her specifically
Same.
that I couldn't really mess with like that.
Same.
But the reality of it is ESPN needs new programming. Malika Taylor, I think, is doing great in her role. Are we ready to see her host a show, though? That's my question.
That's my thing, though. She killed the jump this past week. That's why I was a little frustrated. I understand that, man, and that's the thing. I don't watch like this, but after I saw some clips of Maria with Malika, Malika Andrews on there, I was like, wait. So I actually watched. I think it was like last Wednesday's episode. I watched it in its entirety. It was a different show. It was a completely different show. But I mean, this was Rachel Nichols' baby, and give her credit for that. So I'm not surprised that she took it off. But yeah, I think Malika would be just fine. It's just that you put her in the right show. Don't just put her in a show because she's Malika Andrews. That's my thing. But I think she'd be just fine running the show. I think she'd be all right.
All right, I'm going to have to go back to watch that. Black Zen, I'm speaking that into existence. It says, hire Jackie Ray, ESPN. Bam.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. No, take it, Jackie. No, go ahead. Do your thing.
So we can do his and hers. I missed that show so much. I don't even know. All right, but let's move on to this next one because this is the one y'all see the headline. This is what we're going to talk about and have. I need to have some reactions other than the first ones that I saw in the chat before we even started. But I really don't understand the deep-seated hate that people have for players. Obviously, I'm used to it because I'm a King James fan, but it doesn't make sense to me, this like visceral reaction that fans have to players, especially with Karl AnthonyTowns. I get that he had his issues with Jimmy Butler and Joel, and you might be hanging on to that. But with all that we saw him go through with his family, and he still had commitment, and he still is a very good, very consistent player, hating on him is just weird to me. But it does happen. And I think he is at the point now where he's saying some of the things that happen on social media just go a little bit too far, and it gets inside the heads of players a little bit. So I just want to show you a couple of quotes from him. He says, if you have an off night as the most recognizable athletes in the world, it's he sucks. But they forget that you just had 40 points for 5 straight games and you got 16, and now it's like he's trash. We see that a lot. He's not wrong in that. And then he has a little bit more to say. He says, that's the thing about being an NBA player. Once the fans make a narrative of you, that's it. They don't want it. They don't want to change it. They don't want to see no change. They don't want to see no different opinion. It's like, no, I'm the smartest person in the world. That's it. I'm putting it on Twitter. So, Chris, what do you think about his initial statements about how fans have this reaction? Like, I'm sure you have a response to that.
No, I do not disagree at all. It's just unfortunate that he has to say it because he's going to get memed and people are going to clown him for it because of everything he said. He stated he's not wrong. I mean, KD said the similar thing in his interview with Draymond Green. Like, people still hate Kevin Durant only because he left the Thunder to go to the Warriors. That's it, and no one's going to change their mind on that. Kevin Durant can go and save an entire hospital from a fire, and people still going to hate on Kevin Durant, call him a snake. So that's just the way that unfortunately this fan culture is on, the social media culture is. Like, the minute there's a meme or something comes out about somebody, that's all you're going to hear about that person for the rest of their career. And it does suck, and I feel for them. And I try my best to try and turn things around, when I, like, if I make an opinion on them, it's the J.R. Smith thing all over again, anything, you know what I mean? That's just the culture it is. So he's not wrong, but he's gonna get memed before the same things that he's talking about. They were like, "Oh, Karl AnthonyTowns can't take it." It's just the way it is, unfortunately. And yeah, I think we're seeing a lot more athletes staying off of social media because of that.
Right. I think that sometimes you just have to accept that the general public is a little off. I mean, we have somebody in the chat right now that says the NBA players are thugs with money. Like I said, sometimes people are just a little off. That's an off thought process.
Exactly.
First of all, I'm assuming that I know who you are as far as physically, because we know what that word thugs mean, by the way. We know what we're really trying to say. So I don't want you to think you slick and got away with nothing, because we know what you're trying to say. But he also defended James Harden, which I love, because you know how I feel about James Harden. It's a love-hate with James Harden. But, you know, Chris and I have had debates about James Harden.
Yes.
That's my man's and them. Yeah. That's my man. And so he says, think about James Harden. They talk about him in the playoffs. Give me an argument about why you think that he sucks. Show me statistical facts of why you think that. Well, I don't got to show you that. I just know I watch basketball every day. Let me tell you the facts. He averaged 31.6 points in the playoffs. He was killing. he was trying to drag his team into the finals, and you're telling me that man struggled. And that's right. Fans are like that, though. Fans will talk about the stats when it suits them, and then when it doesn't suit them, they go, "Oh, well, you can't just base everything off stats."
Right,
okay,
100%.
I need you to pick a side, you know? So I think 100%. He's right. I get what you're saying. By him saying that, people are going to say he's soft. But aren't we supposed to be moving into this new era where we appreciate people sharing how they really feel about things?
Yeah, but social media doesn't run that way. Social media is the wild, wild west, man. They don't care. It's all these. We got all these. What's his name in our chat? Egads in the world right now that just sitting up in the on the computer with all the Doritos and stuff and stains and whatnot, saying what they want to say and getting it out, knowing that there's gonna be no repercussions. So though that's the way it should be, it's just. I don't know if there's ever going to be that control on social media that we might want. I mean, I'm glad that he's getting his opinion out. He's getting it out there. Hopefully more players follow suit and they're going to say the same things, especially guys that are not on social media that feel the same way. But I just don't see it changing because as long as there's no way, as long as I can make my icon, a J.R. Smith meme and ever see my face, if I'm one of those kind of people, what's anyone going to do? You know what I mean? So I don't see it ever really shifting, unfortunately, on the internet. And the best way to do it is if either be able to handle it, which is not for everybody, or just stay off of it. And that's just the way it's going to be. Because like we say it all the time. And as somebody who, both of us, like you say, you're talking about James Harden and we defend all these players, we feel one way about them. But then there's like a whole horde of people that are going to hate on them for absolutely no reason because they wore the wrong shoes before, because that's just the way it is. And I don't know if that's ever going to change, unfortunately, with social media.
Yeah, it is unfortunate, and I agree with you. It's just one of those things that kind of come with the territory. So to all of you out there, and especially your athletes out there, just remember that episode of, what is it, where Cartman is on there. What is that, South Park? And what they look like when they're out there trolling you and they're all in their basement with their mom bringing them Hot Pockets. So just don't give it much thought and just move on with your life. All right, that's all we got for Need to Sorry. He's silly. All right, Chris, take us into the post up.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got a big one today. It's time to post up with your boy Chris. I'm gonna try and keep this one a little quick because we got a lot to cover and it's a lot of good. And we're gonna start with Giannis AnthonyTowns and Giannis, we've been talking about it on this show a lot. We're loving championship Giannis because he's just living his best life the way you're supposed to when you A, win your first championship, and B, are the guy of your team winning that first championship, especially in a town like Milwaukee where it wasn't, it's been 50 years since they won a championship. So Giannis is living his best life. And we saw that yesterday when he went on stage for AEW, where he was just soaking it all in when the crowd was loving him. Here's the first video of him at AEW last night. Look at him. And it's him and his brother. I can't determine which brother. I think it's Alex. There's so many Antetokounmpos in the wild, but I think that's Alex, the youngest one. Look at he rocking that bucket hat too. He killing that bucket hat. Go ahead, Giannis. Watch the slide though. It's not LeVar Ball-esque, but it's nice. Tuck and roll. Wow. Go ahead, Giannis. He's too damn big to be doing that. He's doing it up. Yeah, cool moment, cool moment. He's too damn big, right? You think he's big there when he's in the ring? Watch him ringside. Like, what were you saying?
The ropes like his waist.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, you're too big.
Too damn big. But yeah, watch how big he is on ringside because you cannot miss him. He was having a great old time. Watch this next video of him just enjoying life. Look how big he is. Look at him. All the little people, they're all next to him. I don't understand. Like, Giannis, I just don't understand the Giannis hate. I don't understand it. Like it's just like we were just talking about. People just gonna hate because they gonna find a reason to hate. I don't get it. Giannis is a cool dude. He's to himself. He's been as authentic as you can be from the beginning to now. Nothing has changed. Like, I don't know. I just don't get the hate. But Giannis out here living his best life. I have nothing else to say about that. Do your thing, Giannis. Do your thing. That was a lot of fun to check out. So yeah, moving from that to this. Oh gosh. Sorry. Anthony Edwards, Jackie's boy. Jackie's claimed Rookie of the Year. Now, I was going to slander him. I was so ready to slander him. I am a fan of Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown is a pupil of my favorite basketball player of all time, Tracy McGrady. You saw Jaylen Brown make that jump this past season. So he's out here working out. And then Anthony Edwards was in the back saying this to Jaylen Brown, who proceeded to make a bunch of threes from Curry range in a row. I'm going to let you listen to the tape first before I say what I say. I don't know if you guys can hear him. But Anthony Edwards said, "Come on, bro. I ain't shooting from Steph Curry range." And then Jaylen Brown just casually 3, 4. Then he hits that 1-5. So I was about to come on here and be like, Jackie, that's your Rookie of the Year right there. Why he not owning up to being able to shoot from anywhere? I thought Anthony Edwards was this confident guy. But then I looked closely and I saw the gym. I saw where they were at, and I'm like, wait, this looks familiar. I think I was on a post up like a week ago where we saw a certain video of Anthony Edwards doing this. The same gym. Same gym. And he's doing just fine from this Damian Lillard range. He's doing just fine from Dame range. 3 of them in a row. You give us the 4th one? Yes, he is. So, you gonna give us 5. I forgot how many you got. Go ahead. So my slander, I'm keeping it to myself. I'm not sure if this is from the same day, but for sure, definitely in the same gym. Him and Jaylen Brown have been working out. I got that confirmed. So no slander on Anthony Edwards. It was funny initially. I was like, oh, you can't shoot from Steph Curry, but all right, that's your boy, Jackie. I got nothing to say. If you want to go ahead and see him go ahead dance it out. All right, we're gonna move on from that. So yeah, you win this round, Anthony Edwards. You win this round, but still Jaylen Brown is cool. I'm glad he had the jump that he had last year. Now this one's funny to me. This one I have some stock in, and I'm so glad I'm able to talk about. I'm gonna try to keep it quick though. Evan Fournier, the newest Knick. Do not Google his last name. Evan Fournier, the newest New York Knick guard. He was inducted to the team. He's super excited to be a Knick. We're number 13, yada, yada, yada. But he has had a beef with NBA 2K for years. And partially some of it is his fault because he went from having luscious hair to all of a sudden just balding out of nowhere. And 2K had a hard time figuring out what kind of hair to give him. But this is next level. Look at what 2K Mobile did to my man Evan Fournier. What in the hell am I looking at? This looks like a villain from the upcoming Spider-Man movie. Like, who is this? And he's wearing number 10. Disrespect to my man, Clive Fraser. Like, what we doing? But look at the face. Look at the face. And Fournier saw it. Fournier is very in tune with social media. He saw this and he said this on Twitter. Every effing year, bro, facepalm. I'm sick of this ish. And I'm telling you, it happens every year. As a person who plays 2K, he's not wrong. But here comes my boy, the guy y'all know I can't stand, Ronnie 2K, coming in here trying to defend the situation. Wrong game, bud. What you mean wrong game? It's the mobile version, but it's still 2K. And then look, even the Magic, a team that he doesn't play for anymore for 2 years, has not played for. The Magic came in and they defended Evan Fournier like, this is not the mobile version. This is 2K20, and he looked pretty raggedy. That looked pretty similar to that first picture. And this is the console one, not the little mobile game. So it is the right game, bud. But in defense of Ronnie and Evan Fournier, they got it a little bit better in the upcoming NBA 2K22 because he did get his rating. So he looks a little bit better. I still think they could have done better. But it's a lot better. You don't look crazy. Don't look like an evil villain. He looks great in the New York jersey. That 76 will go up, Evan Fournier. But Jackie, how you feeling about? Do you see this picture and you saw that first picture? Do you think that he can end his feud with 2K, or does he have every right? Because every year, look at that. That was 21 or 20. Okay,
how crazy his eyes look though.
Insane, and that's what I'm saying. Look, it's the whole thing. I feel bad for him. Look at that.
This one is hilarious.
Like what?
The hands are perfect. Like, why do I look like this?
Like the eyes, like you looking like a damn evil villain, man. I don't know why they doing that to my man Fournier, but yeah, I think they did him right. 2K, you can still fade him up a little bit, but they did him better in the newest 2K. I'm glad we got to talk about that one because yeah, Fournier been getting the raw deal. So Dwayne Wade, he's a lot like myself, and I think you too, Jackie. I'm not a fan of the What If game, except for Marvel. Shout out to What If by Marvel. That show was fantastic. But as far as sports, I hate the What If game. What if this happened? What if he missed his shot? What if LeBron didn't go to my? Like, I hate the What If game. This one I have a little bit of a stock in because, well, Trace McGrady was connected to it, but Basketball Forever put up this What If scenario. That if Ray Allen missed that shot, you guys know the shot against the San Antonio Spurs in that game 6 against the Miami Heat. Here's the scenario. Here's what would happen if he missed. He said Tim Duncan would have the same finals record as Michael Jordan. Dwayne Wade would only have 2 rings. LeBron is 3-7 in the finals. This is the one that hurts my heart. Tracy McGrady would have a ring. The Miami Heat Big Three would be 1-3 in the finals, and Kawhi would have 3 rings. Although I love that for the T-Mac side of it, I don't care because Dwayne Wade don't care either because this is what he tweeted and responded to it. Ha! Not the if game. Stop. And I agree. Like, stop. What's the point of this? Like, you had nothing else to talk about on, was it 2 days ago, August 24th? That's what we're coming up with? The what if game? And all the responses to nobody cared about it. So, Jackie, someone who has more stock than I do, I just had the T-Mac stock. I had actually a really embarrassing Vine because I was back when Vine was popping. I had this embarrassing Vine because the Spurs were up. I was out there. I had a whole Vine. I'm like, T-Mac about to get a ring. And I was like celebrating because everybody else wanted the Heat to win. And I'm there happy because T-Mac about to get a ring. And then Ray Allen hit the shot and it was embarrassing. But as somebody that is stocking it as a LeBron James fan, what's your thoughts on this stupid tweet?
I hate them because what if JR had paid attention to the clock? What if Kyrie didn't get mad and stayed in Cleveland? Mm-hmm. What if KD's foot wasn't that big? Like, what? I don't like what if. Like, this too much, and it makes me so upset. What if I had happened to travel to Akron at the exact moment when LeBron met his wife and he met me instead? What if? You know what I mean? Like,
I was waiting for something like that. I was like, she gonna find something to bring this back to her meeting LeBron, what and if? That was all right.
What if? But it didn't. So let's move on.
Yeah, no, I'm the same way. What if Steph Curry actually fell to the Knicks? Like, I don't like the what if game. Right. The what if game is stupid. Kevin saying CK, do it for the Vine. I did do it for the Vine, and I got it. See, this is why I don't play the tables, man. My luck is the worst. I just have the worst luck. Anyways, stupid. Who cares? The Heat won, and that is never going to change. And something else that is really getting under the skin of these athletes and social media, Ja Morant. Now, we did hear about the rumors that the Grizzlies were possibly looking to move Dillon Brooks, which to me I think is crazy because Dillon Brooks had a great season last year. Him and Ja Morant look like they're going to be a fun combo, especially with the other guys they got, blah, 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 blah. But there's been rumors that the Grizzlies are looking to move oh my gosh, I just lost his name. Dillon. Oh my gosh, you know what I'm talking about. We're just talking about him. Anyways, they're looking to move him. And apparently there's a rumor that Ja Morant isn't a big fan of, and he's calling cap. This tweet came out by the NBA Central saying, report Cavs and Grizzlies interested in prying away Dillon Brooks or Kyle Anderson from the Grizzlies. And Ja Morant straight up said, stop it, with the laughing emojis and the little bear. I love how he uses the bear emoji because the Grizzlies and they're like baby bears. So I just think it's funny. I'm like, yo, that's the opposite of a Grizzly, but I get what you're doing. Yeah, these players are just not fans. And we've been seeing this a lot more this offseason. Like, when they're making these reports about the players and the players are responding to the reports, like, really? That's news to me. But, Jackie, what you thinking about this? Do you think that this is – what do you think about Ja Morant responding to it? You think he should have just left it alone? Are you cool with him? Like, what's your thoughts on him responding to the report, whether it's true or false?
I love Ja Morant, so I'm usually going to co-sign on what he does. But in this case, I would say just bow out because this is not – I mean, first of all, a lot of things have to happen. You know, it's just too soon, in my opinion, because this hasn't been official. This isn't official yet, right? So
no.
Yeah. So like, why talk about this? Why not let this play out? Don't show your hand yet, especially not on social media. Let it play out. Because if it ends up meaning nothing, then this tweet was a waste of time. And most of the tweets on social media, for being honest, are a waste of time. But this one specifically, I wouldn't have done this one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I completely agree. Leave it alone. Leave it alone.
Yeah.
You know Dylan Brooks. You know the situation. You know, leave it alone. I understand. Like some of these times, like I'm cool with it. Sometimes when they're like, cap, especially if the person that's in the rumor responds to it, then I'm a little bit more a fan of it. But y'all just leave it alone, man. You know the truth. This is coming from NBA Central. They're only half right on it on Twitter anyway. So don't trip about that.
They usually flip a coin with their facts.
100%. 100%. That's why there's so many fake accounts named NBA Central, because they make fun of how wrong they are. Anyways, so we're gonna move from one annoyed athlete to one annoying athlete, at least in the mind of some of the fans, and that's none other than Miss Shikari herself. She's not handling these last few days well. I am on record with being okay with her comments, though they were too far, they were too long. I'm cool with her speaking her mind. I had no beef with it. That's who she is. Let her be her. You gonna give her the attention. Let her be her. But at the same time, the way she's been handling it since, from liking the tweet about Lil Wayne to some other things coming up, and now she was caught liking yet another tweet, and not a good look yet again. This tweet coming out from Goldie saying, "Not y'all Jamaicans still talking ish when y'all gotta walk barefoot to your coconut stand every day for a living." And guess who liked that tweet?
I mean, at this point, girl, I mean,
No, finish your statement, Jack. Go ahead. Let it all out. Go ahead. I got nothing else to say.
I had people come for me on social media, rightfully so at first, because I was definitely one of those ones that was in her corner 100% and felt some type of way about her not being able to go to the Olympics. I've also been one of the people that said I didn't come for her. The main thing that I said was she didn't handle that post interview right. That's number one. Neither did the reporter, though, because she definitely shouldn't have been the first person you interviewed. The winner should have been the first person you interviewed. Nonetheless, she didn't handle her portion of that right. That Lil Wayne tweet infuriated me, because I think that man is you don't ever compare anybody. So that infuriated me. This has racist undertones in it,
right?
And you liked it. And so now I'm like, okay, again, I don't believe in canceling people, but in my heart, I'm done with you, Shikari, because you the sixth fastest in the world, which ain't nothing. Don't nobody give no prizes for sixth place, but we don't let you hold on to that because we like you. But now you're going out here, and this person who clearly has never been to Jamaica is saying that Jamaican, like ever in his life, is saying that they walk to barefoot for coconuts, and you over here coming in dead last liking it. Like, girl. Yeah. If I was in, she clearly doesn't have anybody around her, because at this point, take her phone. You take her phone and her laptop, and you got to send up smoke flares from now on. You don't get to be on social media anymore. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, for sure. And like I said, don't you dare, Shikari. I'm trying to hang with you, but don't you dare Conor McGregor this. I can't say that enough. If you have the nerve to go out in your next race and stink up the joint again after everything that's going on right now,
stop running.
Oh boy, that's not going to be a good look. But Shikari's still going. I'm sure this is probably not going to be the last time. I'm sure we might as well make a segment for Shikari alone on Post Up at this rate. So moving on to this next one, I got coming from okay, this one too as well. I didn't bring the video, but basically Jimmy G, he has an opinion on who's going to be QB1 and how he feels the QB1 race should go. Now, we've talked about it briefly on here. We talked about Kyle Shanahan, his opinion on still making them compete and blah, 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 blah. And we're both saying that, or no, you're thinking it should be Jimmy G. I'm thinking he should go with Trey, just because if you can't decide between the guy who's been starting and a rookie, then obviously you want to go with the rookie. So I think he should just go with Trey and go with what he wants. But Jimmy G, he feels pretty confident. Unfortunately, I did not get the video, but basically it's like a 15-second video. And basically they asked him how you feel about the quarterback competition, where you think it should be. And he says, you know what? It's whatever Kyle wants. but I feel pretty confident about what my spot in the QB competition. So again, this is almost similar to the John Morant conversation. Do you have a problem with Jimmy G? I wouldn't say really confident. It's kind of confident. The way he said it was very Jimmy G like, where it's like he's kind of being confident, but not really. But do you have a problem with Jimmy G? I don't know. Because I know we're both on the team, speak your mind and, bet on yourself kind of thing. So I know you're not going to have a problem with him saying that he should be starting quarterback. But as far as defending Kyle Shanahan, because we both know that Kyle Shanahan, for him to be putting this competition on as long as he has been, is kind of whack. Do you think Jimmy G should have said something, or do you think he was right for just keeping it the way it is because he might lose his starting spot if he said something?
That's a tough one. I mean, because he better than me.
And that's why I'm saying, right, same thing.
Me too. If we got beef, we got beef. That's not going to change just because the cameras is on. This is continuous beef, and at this point, I think it would be hard for the whole squad not to have beef with Kyle. He's just not that good at what he does, unfortunately. And so I wouldn't say it's whatever Kyle wants. I would say I am the queen of shading people and then them having to walk away from the conversation and be like, hold up, what she just say? So I would have figured out a way to make it something like that, where I said something like, we have to leave it into the hands of the head coach. The whole head coach gets to make that call, whether it's right or wrong or the right choice for the team. It's going to be left to Kyle. I would have said something like that to let him know, if you don't pick me, you make the wrong choice, bro. But you've been making wrong choices. So I just couldn't come out here and say, I'm confident Kyle's going to make the right decision, but I'm confident in my position. I mean, because at this point, Kyle's not showing you the same grace. He's being cocky and like, I'm not telling you anything. You know what I mean? Like he's not showing you the same professional courtesy. And I get, my dad always says, be the bigger person. And I always say I'm 125 pounds soaking wet. I'm not the bigger person most of the time. I'm going to be me. and so, no, I don't. But in this case, I just think that I don't know if he's trying to earn the spot. Like, let me show that I can be professional and I can handle things properly in the media, and I can show that I have some sort of allegiance with my head coach, so that raises my stock. I don't know if that's what he's doing, but if that is what he's doing, I can assure him it's not going to work, because Kyle doesn't have that kind of mindset. But I mean, good try.
Yeah, I think I would have done there would have been some undertones in my response as well. I'd be like, I feel like, it's been a great competition. Trey's a really good guy, but, it's a tough decision when you have to choose between the veteran quarterback or a rookie. It's especially when, at this point of the season, it's going to be pretty tough, go with the vet or go with the rookie. Anyways, next question. I was like, what? But I don't know. I think it's going to be Jimmy G, but I believe at some point in this season, especially if Jimmy G plays a lot like he did last year, I think Trey might get the spot probably like week 5, week 6, but we'll see how that team goes with Jimmy G. Now, this next one, I normally don't agree with the Buccaneers much, but Bruce Arians, I don't know how you're going to feel about this. I don't know how the chat's going to feel about this, but personally, I agree with Bruce Arians on the Bruce rules on how the Buccaneers are going to be handling COVID. Because remember where the Buccaneers play, and Bruce is he's very open and very upfront about how he feels about it and how he's handling the situation with the team. But this tweet came out, I also have a video as well. But this tweet came out saying Bucs head coach Bruce Arians said today that he won't allow his players, vaccinated or not, to leave the team hotel on road trips. They will be under the same protocols as last year. And then he said, quote, there's league rules, and then there's my rules. And I can't do it any justice. Bruce, take it away. I'm pretty sure I have the Bruce video. Yeah.
Life is not normal. I mean, we're pretty much under the same protocols. We're going to be under the same protocols as last year, just because that's the way it is, especially living here. And, I mean, that Tennessee come in and going out to dinner, they found out the hard way. And so did Ryan. So we can only tell them so much. But once we get to 53, even this weekend, our guy's going to make a bunch of sacrifices that you have to make now. Families at the hotel, all those things, they're all out the window. There's league rules and there's my rules. They
Amen.
ain't going anywhere. We're going the same as last year. I don't give a crap if they're vaccinated or not. They ain't going anywhere.
So
Come on, Bruce.
just that I don't give a crap if they vaccinated or not. They gonna know that Bruce. Yeah, Bruce on, man. I completely agree with this, especially in this sport where there's gonna be tons of contact anyway. You know, he wants to control it as much as he can control it. And like he mentioned, being in Tampa Bay in Florida is definitely a danger zone for sure over there. So by your response, it sounds like you also agree with Bruce on the Bruce rules here, talking about the team sticking to what they did last year.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of this. We're going to talk about something kind of similar and what we're not going to do. But here's the thing. It's 16 weeks, y'all, unless we go further, and we're trying to go further. And the best way to go further is to make sure that we're all healthy. Of course, injuries and stuff might happen during the season, but that's stuff that is related to your job. What we're not going to do is go out here and get a virus when we can take steps to prevent it. We're just not going to do that. We're not going to mingle with people who feel like the virus is made up, it's man-made, and they don't want to take any precautions at all. We're not mingling with those people. We're going to keep to ourselves until the end of this season. And if you don't like that, too bad. This is what it is. It's my way or the highway. And that is how you lead a team, because you know guys are going to want to go out there. The NFL has already made it clear how they're going to make it hell on you anyway. Okay, right, Bruce is sure. Like, fear coming from Florida. Yeah. Where everybody seemed to got it. So no, I appreciate it's 16 weeks that they have to play, Kevin. Of course, because of the bye weeks, it's 17. But I'm saying you want your season to go beyond that. And the best way to go beyond that is to make sure you're healthy. I 100% applaud Bruce in this. I think that other head coaches step up and have the same mindset, because this is a winning mindset to me. You trying to win, and I love this.
Yep, I completely agree. And he's up front, wasn't smiling. He was dead serious. Bruce rules, man. I'm with it. I'm with the Bruce rules in Tampa Bay. And like Kevin said in the chat, when you a champion, you can speak like that. And you ain't wrong. You are not wrong. Still hate the Buccaneers, but Bruce, you got points for me on this one for sure. And moving on to Khabib. Sorry, I laugh because Khabib, you know, Khabib runs to the beat of his own drum. That's my I gotta say, Khabib at first I didn't really care too much about him. I knew he was a beast, but like as far as like outside of the ring, so I just never really cared too much. But Khabib, man, when you see some of his sound bites or something, he just don't care. He's like, yo, you gonna like what I say? You're not gonna like what I say. Like he fits the mantra of where he's from. You know what I mean? So he has an opinion on ring girls, and he apologizes. He's really upfront. Now, this one is a subtitle-based one because he is speaking his language, so you got to read the subtitles, but I found this one to be pretty funny, and I want to hear what you guys think about this one. But Khabib, go ahead, bro.
Знаете, давайте вот рингерс, я никого не хочу обидеть, но это самые ненужные люди в единоборстве. Какую функцию они носят? Вот у меня вопрос. Ну, включите на экран, что второй раунд идет. Все люди разбираются, что люди туда приходят, они там ходят, я не знаю. Но это мое личное мнение. Я не хочу тебе ее навязать, Камила. Я считаю, что у тебя свое мнение есть. Насчет каких-то моментов. Ну просто у меня такое, это самые ненужные люди в единоборствах. Ну что, какую функцию, как они спорт развивают? Или они людям помогают, что они идет второй раунд, что они делают? Тоже мне ответьте, а там дальше уже...
Ну, так просто исторически сложилось.
Я однажды отвечу на историю. Ну, в истории есть много моментов, которые неправильно тоже были. Мы зачем читаем историю? Чтобы в будущем не совершать ошибки тех, которые были до нас. Так что, если мы смотрим историю, вот история говорит, что они вообще не нужные люди. Это мое личное мнение.
Я однажды отвечу на этот вопрос, но мне сначала надо с Даной Уайтом посоветоваться.
Ну, Дана Уайт, это уже, Дана, это другая история. Может, ему нравится это, может, и тебе нравится. Но меня же не Дана Уайт зовут, и меня не Хабиб зовут. Но так как я уже в этой теме, мы уже сказали, что вот этого всего не будет присутствовать, правильно же, да? Если я же не прихожу со своим законом к вам, и вы тоже к нам не приходите. Но мы...
Yeah, we cut it there. He's not wrong. Khabib, like I said, Khabib is a man of business. He ain't there for all the extracurriculars. You say something about him, his family, then he gonna give you and whoever else was saying trash the work. You saw what he did with Conor. But he's there for the fight. He ain't there for any of the extracurriculars. Like he said, if you want to see the next round, you can check the screen. We know a lot of the horny internet kids are gonna be upset about this. But what's your thoughts on this, Jackie? Do you think that he's he's saying anything out of pocket? Do you agree, disagree? Like I said, I'm with it. I don't disagree one way or another. You keep him on, cool, but I see what he's saying. What's your thoughts on it?
I 100% agree with him. And I've been saying that for the longest time. Like, why I need this girl walking around a bloody ring, especially if it's an intense fight and somebody done got, and then you got to step over the blood. Why do I need you walking around the ring half naked? I know what round it is. I just watched the first round. So I 100% agree with him. I agree with what he said when the reporter was like, well, yeah, but there's some history behind it. That statement that he made after that, just walk out, drop the mic and walk out. He goes, yeah, but history, a lot of mistakes have been made in history. We go back and look at history so we can do things better in the future. My name is Khabib. That's going to be my answer to everything from now on. When people, I'll be like, my name is Khabib.
Yeah, he's like, that's Dana. Dana likes that, but he's Dana. My name's not Dana. My name's Khabib. I was like, oh, okay, that's a bar. You're not wrong. Right.
Yeah,
right.
I think he's 100%. But like Doug says in the chat, sex sells. So I understand Dana White doing that, but I don't think anybody who's a true fan of UFC is going to miss it if those girls are gone. Because usually when those girls are walking around the ring, myself and whoever I'm watching the fight with are talking about what went right or wrong in that last round. And or maybe we're talking about should the ref have maybe stopped. We're talking about a lot of stuff, none of which includes those ring girls. So I think he's right.
Yeah, I have no opinion either way. Keep them cool because, like you just said, I miss it more times anyways. Especially when you're watching on TV. I understand if you're in the stadium, So I don't know. Like, keep them, get rid of them. To me, it doesn't bother me either way. But Khabib, he brings up some great points, and I had no problem with his take on that for sure. This, who might have a problem with Khabib's statement? These kids, man. Because, look, these boys right here, they're at a game. I don't know where their parents at, but these boys, well, they just being boys. When you see this video, you'll see why they might have a problem with what Khabib had to say. You have to watch it from the beginning, though.
Oh, goodness. See?
Watch my man's face. Watch my man's face. Watch. Oh, what?
Oh, my God. Now we know.
Oh, man. Where are the parents? And B, those kids, my man was lounged right next to him, dude in the back doing cartwheels. These two over here looking at girls' boobies like, go ahead, man. I mean, I guess anything but watching the baseball game. I don't know what's going on, but those kids are having a great time. But we're going to go to the last one.
No parental controls on those phones, I see. But go ahead.
Yeah. Internet was in full force for those guys. Last but not least, I have nothing to say. But we've seen the little baby Curry. I don't know if you remember a few years ago. It was like a little chunky Curry or whatever his name was. And it was adorable. Haha. But this kid right here, I don't care if he's Chinese, black, white. I don't care what he is. This kid right here is a carbon copy. He has gotten the entire blueprint of Steph Curry's moves from the ankle braces to the jump shot. Check out my boy right here.
Nah, little bruh, really a little Steph Curry. Tween behind, spin, drop.
Watch the shot,
step back. Nah.
Identical.
Blah, that's a Steph Jr. One dribble, cross. Come here. Nah, he did the floater too. Cross. It's no
the
way.
Entire
down.
Package.
Blang. This really a Steph replica. Behind the back, spin move. One dribble, step back, knock it down.
The entire the shot is identical.
There's no way, bro. He got the behind the back, tween behind, just like Steph. Spin move, one dribble to the step back. Yo.
Look at that.
If studying was a person, cross, come in.
Right.
He said if studying was a person.
Nah, cross.
Yeah, all these, they're literally all his moves.
Just Steph in a kid body, behind the back, spin move, one dribble, knock it down. Blang. That's
Steph Curry. If this kid is not courtside to your game at any point this season, I'm going to have some problems with you because this kid right here, and then not even courtside, he better be able to make it to a practice and work out with you. He might not even need it because he got all your moves on pack. Like, that was point on point. Like, that's crazy. That was crazy, man. Shout out to Lil
Does he do anything besides watch Steph play? Because dang.
Obviously not. He had the number, the ankle braces, the dribble moves, the jump shot. The only thing he didn't have, Steph, he wasn't wearing your Under Armours. He was wearing some Kyrie's. I don't know if you feel a way about that.
Maybe Steph will. Well, don't nobody want them Under Armour shoes. Them shoes is ugly. But maybe Steph can. Maybe if you get them for free. Maybe if you get them for free, you'll wear them. But ain't nobody paying for those.
Yeah, I to this day I don't know anybody I've seen wear Curry's in person. Whether I just haven't seen it. I haven't seen it. But Jackie Ray, that's enough for me. Can you tell these people what we're not gonna do?
Yes, let's get into what we not gonna do, because this one is just, I'm tired of hearing about it. Like, it's just one of those things. I, unfortunately, with another platform that I work with, I have spent way too much time covering these protests about anti-vaxxers and anti-maskers. And I'm just over it, because I really don't care how you feel about the vaccine. That is your business. I don't care how you feel about the mask. That is your business. But what we're not going to do is run around here and pretend like this virus isn't killing thousands and thousands of people and you just going to do whatever you want. If you want to do whatever you want, stay home. That's where I fall on this one. Cole Beasley used to be like one of my favorite people. I think he is one of the most underrated, dope slot receivers that we have in the NFL. He's just a cool guy. I've met him a couple of times, but I think maybe he had lost it a little bit when he was on his little anti-vax kick. He's back on it. But this one, I'm like, okay, Cole, I'm going to have to fall back. I have to give you a little bit of a point, except for the NFL said what they said. And you work for the NFL, so it really don't matter what you think. So I want to get into this because I want to show you this from Isaiah McKenzie. So he posted this and said, they got me. NFL, you win. First of all, that is the right attitude. NFL, you win. That's how you're supposed to say, like, I'm not going to be out here doing no more nonsense and shenanigans. You win. So he's talking about the fine that he received for not wearing a mask. So I want to show you the letter, and I want to read you a bulk of it, because the NFL in this letter, petty. They are very, very petty. First of all, they detailed to him, I said, on August 25th at approximately 2:15, you were walking indoor the field house with no mask on. Then at 4:35 p.m. on the 25th, for several minutes, you failed to wear your mask in a meeting. And then they go down and said your refusal to wear a mask occurred after you were informed that it was required for unvaccinated players set forth in your 2021 club discipline schedule and reiterated by signage throughout the club facility. So then they go on and talk about, as of August 25th, the NFLPA required these protocols. But then they go down and they say, I love this sentence because this is like petty personified. For players who are not fully vaccinated against COVID-19, like you, your conduct is expressly prohibited by the protocols. Again, your contact potentially compromises not only your player's safety, but the safety of others as well in the league. This letter was fantastic to me because the way they was like, and then at 2:35 and 15 seconds, you did this. Like, they just mapped everything else in life because of people like you. It was just so petty, and I actually 100% love it. So he was fined $14,650 for not wearing his mask. Again, NFL has spoken. We talked about this when the NFL originally laid down these rules, and the first thing I said was, okay, guys, listen, if you don't want to get the vaccine, that's your business. Not going to call you out on that. But the NFL, with these rules, has expressly said they're going to make your life hell if you don't. So be prepared. Do everything you have to do. If that means that you have to be in the house just so you get used to having your mask on all the time, if you have to shower with it just so you're used to it, whatever you have to do that. And so I think I'm just a little different. My opinion about masking and vaccines are one thing. My bank account is another. And I personally am not going to do anything that jeopardizes my bank account. Because it's not necessary. You can just wear a mask. So that's where I fall on that. But Cole Beasley was like, oh, make it make sense. So he posted this. He says, don't worry, they got me too. But I was wearing a mask when I was in close contact with a fully vaccinated trainer who tested positive and still got sent home. So what's the point of the mask anyway? Meanwhile, I'm here still testing negative and can't come back. Make it make sense. So just so you guys know, Cole Beasley, Gabriel Davis, along with their defensive tackle, I think his name is Lely, and then Vernon Butler, they all have to miss 5 games of practice. All of them have continued to test negative, but the trainer, who is fully vaccinated, tested positive, and so now they have to be out because of protocols. Understand, though, if they were fully vaccinated and tested negative, they wouldn't be out of practice. So again, this is one of those things where I'm just going to have to fall back on, you work for an organization. The only way to get out of the rules set forth by an organization is if you own the organization. Then you can make the rules as you see fit. But when you don't own the organization, it's either do this or go home. I don't understand why people don't understand this. This ain't your first rodeo. Everybody had a job. You were taught this on your first job as a teenager when you came in and maybe worked at fast food or whatever, and you walked in without your hat. They sent you home. It's just a hat. Doesn't really change how you do business, but those are the rules set forth by that organization. Agree with it or not, it doesn't really matter. If you decide, no matter what, I want to continue to move forth with this organization, what you're saying is, I agree to these rules. The NFLPA is there for you. If you guys really had a problem with this, you should have spoke up and made these changes. But the fact of the matter is, like it or not, we are in the middle of a worldwide pandemic. None of us really know what we're doing. Let's just be honest. We don't know what this is. This is our first time dealing with this. He popping out variants like Loki. We don't really know what we're up against right now. So we're doing the best we can. If this is what this organization says you have to do it and keep your money. Period. That's all I got to say about that. Chris, what do you think?
I got nothing to add because I completely agree. But to have Cole Beasley, I don't know, because like you said, there was a point before where you were saying some reckless things, and now it looks like he's back on it. Like you said, these guys got their pockets that are involved with it. Us, we just trying to live, but they trying to live, and they gotta make sure they try to keep their money. So I don't know what else you need, what else you would need to just follow the rules and just shut up. Like, that's my problem with it. Like, we trying to save lives, and on top of that, y'all trying to keep your money. So how much more incentive do you need? So yeah, I'm with you on that. Shout out to my man Isaiah, because he has the right thing. He's right on track. Like, you got the message received. So I got nothing else to add. I'm right there with you.
Yeah. So that's our show for today. It's 10 o'clock on the dot, 1 o'clock if you're in the East Coast. Bam, on the dot. You guys make sure you come back tomorrow, which is going to be Friday. I don't think we're doing Fan or Foe, so just come out and hang out with us. And make sure you subscribe, follow. Check me out on J-Ray the Fanatic. Check Chris out at CK2K. We will see you tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Y'all be safe. Do what you're supposed to do. Follow the rules.
Be smart. Bye.
Right.